What's up, guys? It's your boy Zowoki back out with another, of course, scary, terrifying, and creepy video from Slaptam. We're about to dive down 13 scary videos, or ghost videos, that made even the skeptics go quiet. That's a tall order. Grab a chair, grab some popcorn, your extra pair of pants, but first don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now by hitting that white bar icon that says subscribe. Hit that bell icon next to it so when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that I've posted that video, and then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, thank you guys so very much for that love and support that you guys continuously show on my channel. If it wasn't for you, this channel would not exist, and I thank you so very much. Show that same love over at Slaptam. I know Callan doesn't need my help, but go give him some love if you haven't subscribed already, and let's get into these scary ghost videos. Slaptam. A door.
Do you believe in shadow people?
Yes.
This eerie footage uploaded to Reddit appears to show something quite creepy.
Oh. What?
That dark shape isn't a pet, and it isn't a person. It darts across the room with a speed that just doesn't look natural.
And it doesn't look like his
Here's
fingers.
the same clip again, slowed right down so you can get a closer look.
Goes like in his room out. Look how fast it's moving. Ooh. And then phew. Like it's flying around.
This scary video was posted to Reddit's Unexplained Phenomena forum by user historical_move_2873, where it racked up over 1,000 upvotes and nearly 300 comments in a matter of days. And the comment section quickly turned into something of a confessional. The top reply came from a user who claims they live with one of these things. They say it slowly peeks around the corners of their house, and that they've seen it more than 100 times. Another commenter described the Hat Man,
and you still haven't lost your shiz yet?
described the Hat Man, a shadow figure that stood in their doorway during sleep paralysis, then appeared instantly beside their bed the moment they tried to move.
Have you seen the Hat Man?
Whatever was zipping around that living room, plenty of people watching are certain they've seen it too.
Definitely a little spooky. It's outside of the living room, and then it comes into his room, and then jumps on the left side, and then goes right back out. Oh, these guys.
This family put up a home security camera, and it took less than 24 hours to catch something they couldn't explain.
I miss my son being that age. The cuddles, so much fun. And the ball moves.
But the activity started long before the camera went in. TikTok user Tranquility Botanicals says things kicked off almost the moment her family moved into the house. Small noises at first, then voices, and not just one. Both she and her husband have heard men, women, and children.
So at first it was just like hearing little noises here and there. That escalated to hearing voices. We both have heard like men and women and children
I'd start recording that shiz.
voices.
During their first week in the house, a Bible they kept above their bed hit the floor with a bang. Both parents smell cigarette smoke in a home
You never drop a Bible.
where nobody smokes, and the spare keys they keep above each door kept turning up on the floor, but only when the family had left the house and come back.
But we would leave for a while and then we'd come home and a bunch of the keys would be on the floor. So it wasn't like, oh, like the doors were being shut and so it fell off. No, it was only happening when we would leave and come back and then they'd be on the floor. And actually, it hasn't happened in a while, but it was happening like daily.
Then there's her 5-year-old who insists his closet stays shut, because if it isn't, he says something else will open it.
And then just last night, my 5-year-old was saying that he likes his closet to be shut because if it doesn't get shut, then it will get opened by something else.
Once the cameras went in, the footage started.
Oh, new stuff. My son, my kids, they don't like the doors being open because they think there's something in the hallway or they think there's something in the closet. I'm like, you guys are 13 and 14 years old.
Started backing them up. In this hallway clip, listen for what sounds like a child's giggle and watch the dad because he hears it in real time. Moments later, a different camera inside one of the kids' bedrooms picks up something else. Banging, and what many listeners say sounds like whispering.
He's discovered his ear and that's why he's playing with it, or is it hers?
That's creepy.
But it's this next clip that sent the account viral, racking up over 1.5 million views.
I need some ghost stuff to happen in my house so I can go viral. Look at the ball. Watch the ball. It's stationary and then bloop, starts moving.
Nobody touches it, nothing's near it, and it rolls anyway.
Skeptics are going to be like, it was a vent.
The mum wrote that whatever's in the house bothers them all the time, and that honestly, it's more annoying than anything. When Skeptics suggested a draft
See, she's literally like trying to get it to do it. And she's like trying to prove a point that it's not them. And people are like, I think it's still fake.
under the door might have nudged the ball, the couple filmed a follow-up on the same camera.
Where are you? Hold on, I'm trying to prove something. I'm trying to prove something.
They opened doors and wafted them to push air through the room.
Oh, that's exactly what I was doing.
Yeah.
She's trying to do all the doors.
Well, then here. And then...
They walked circles around the ball. The husband even sat on it. And with the heating running the whole time, nothing they did could make that ball move the way it did in the viral clip.
And then... One. So you can see the ball moving because it's a ball of air.
They can't get it to move.
As for why they're still living there, the answer's simple. They've got a lease.
It's their home. They shouldn't have to leave if they don't want to.
And according to the mum, the activities never felt threatening, just persistent. Scary videos usually do the heavy lifting on this channel, but every now and then a single photograph stops everyone in their tracks. This one was taken in Papua.
Okay, let me see. I'm looking at everything. I see the kid's hand right here. It looks like the hand is dead.
New Guinea, about a week after a man buried his wife. He's kneeling at her graveside, his young daughter perched on his shoulder. At first glance, it's simply a portrait of grief, but look closely at the man's left shoulder, just beneath his beard.
And it looks like it's colored nail.
There's a hand resting there, and when the image is zoomed in, one detail becomes very hard to ignore. The fingernails are painted red, and the hand looks far too large to belong to a child. The photo was shared on Reddit's Paranormal forum by user Sids45, who says the image had already gone viral in their country. On Reddit, it's pulled in over 1,600 upvotes and more than 200 comments. The obvious explanation is that it's the daughter's hand wrapped around her dad's neck from behind. The post erased that possibility themselves. But the shape, the size, and the texture all resemble an adult woman's hand.
And look at the middle
And
finger.
the lighting and shadows sit consistently
It looks dead.
with the rest of the photo, which makes a clumsy edit much harder to argue. The poster says they've reached out to the man in the picture, and they're still waiting to hear back. Until then, the photo simply shows a grieving husband at his wife's graveside and a woman's hand resting gently on his shoulder.
Era algo de susto.
Oh, this
Stuck in
one.
traffic late at night, this driver glanced up at the
I don't want to buy one of these. I want to get one because I want to protect my car, obviously, but I don't want this to possibly happen to me.
preview screen on his cabin camera. What he saw there made him grab his phone and start filming.
Y pues no hay nadie. Y yo aquí en el carro cagado.
On that small screen, lit up in the camera's red night vision glow, there appears to be a figure in the back seat, a woman with a pale face sitting directly behind him. But when he turns his phone around to film the actual back seat, it's empty.
Nothing.
Narrating in Spanish, TikTok user Jorgenava13 sums it up plainly. One camera shows someone, the other doesn't, and there's nobody there. He admits he's sitting in the car, absolutely terrified. The clip exploded, pulling in over 200,000 likes and tens of thousands of shares. And with that attention came the skeptics. One commenter pointed out that the driver's hand never appeared on the camera's preview screen while he was filming, suggesting the whole thing didn't add up. So he posted a follow-up. Filmed in daylight with his mum in the passenger seat, he holds his hand directly in front of the camera and films the preview screen. His hand doesn't show up there either. The angle he films from sits in a blind spot on the small display.
He's literally proving it, and they're like, I don't think so.
Mano. Bueno, ahí ya se ve el teléfono. Pero hasta ahí no se ve mi mano. Entonces,
The driver, for his part, isn't interested in the debate. His response to the doubters was simple. Everyone believes what they want to believe. He posted what he saw, and that's it. Whoever the woman on that screen was, only one camera ever saw her, and she was sitting right behind him.
So you can't
pues no hay
sit there and
nadie.
say that it doesn't do it. Or that it's not real.
In this nursing home, there's one room the staff won't put anyone in anymore. According to TikTok user Camila Torres,
I hate
nurses used to
nursing
joke
homes.
about switching shifts just to avoid it. She says residents placed in the room suffered sudden episodes and some passed away.
It's a death.
Even walking past the doorway was enough to give staff chills. Eventually, they stopped placing anyone in it at all, and the room earned itself a grim nickname, the Death Room. One day,
If you put them in there, dun dun dun.
a resident asked for something unusual. She wanted the room cleansed, and she wanted it recorded.
Heavenly Father, I ask for your divine presence to fill this space. May your light shine brightly through every room, cleansing this home of any negativity,
Amen.
fear, or unrest. Let peace dwell.
But it's what happens during that prayer that sent this scary video to over
Watch the
12 million
rosary.
views.
Surrounding it with your angels and shielding it from harm and evil. May every door be a passage to your grace and every window open to your blessings. In Jesus' name.
Did you catch it? Watch the rosary in her hand.
And every window open to your blessings.
About 40 seconds in, the beads suddenly lift into the air, arcing toward the darkness of the open doorway, as if something inside the room reached out and pulled at them.
And evil. May every door be a passage to your grace.
And there's no
every
string.
window open to your blessings. In Jesus' name.
Skeptics would say a hanging strand of beads swings with every movement of the hand that holds it. But watch the direction. The rosary doesn't swing with her body. It lifts away from her, towards the room. The prayer was finished. The door was closed. To this day, that room remains empty.
They probably should
May
lie.
every door be a passage to your grace and every window open to your blessings. In Jesus' name.
Jesus' name. Amen.
The creepiest part of this photo is that the woman who took it had no idea what she'd captured until the next day. She'd been walking through a cemetery in New Orleans, a city famous for its above-ground tombs and its reputation as one of the most haunted places in America. She took a photo of one of the old crypts and thought nothing more of it. It was only the following day, flicking back through the pictures with her husband, that she saw it. And once the images lightened,
So this thing was just standing there, and it wasn't even.
it's impossible to miss. A figure in dark clothing with a pale face standing at the edge of the frame, not off in the distance, right beside her shoulder, close enough to touch. The photo was shared on Reddit's Ghosts forum by user outside_jacket_8661, and she was adamant about one thing. She'd deliberately only taken photos when there wasn't a single person nearby. In her words, there is no way someone just happened to step into frame. The comment section split right down the middle. The top reply, with over 800 upvotes, put it bluntly, someone was standing there. Another commenter fired back that someone could post the realest ghost picture ever taken, and Reddit would still find a way to discredit it.
Right?
But here's the thing.
We could literally have the perfect evidence and it not be AI, and people are going to be like, that's fake, it's AI, next.
Both explanations are unsettling. Because if the skeptics are right, then a complete stranger stood silently in the dark, inches behind this woman in an empty cemetery, and she never knew they were there.
It looks like the girl's dead. I'm not dead yet. Mighty Python. I'm not dead yet.
For years, this family says something has
Is that Princess Leia?
been active inside their Southern California home, but lately, according to the mum, it's changed its behaviour. It started targeting her daughter. She says it began with toys moving on their own. Then one day, her daughter came running to her saying something had touched her head. Then the cameras caught this.
Oh, Hello Kitty moved. Is that thing supposed to move? Does anybody have that
And it's
thing?
the next clip filmed on the bedroom's night vision camera that viewers have found the most disturbing.
Ooh, new piece.
Her arm appears to be pulled, tugged by something that simply isn't there. Here's the
That's
thing,
creepy.
this isn't a new account posting one lucky clip. The family's TikTok account, Always4Family, has scary videos stretching back years. All the way back in 2021, a Ring camera in their daughter Mackenzie's bedroom captured a set of toy golf clubs toppling over all by themselves in a completely empty room.
The only problem those things can be top heavy though.
In that clip, you can hear the mum call out from another room,
What was
asking
that?
what the noise was. Nobody had been in there at all. "5 years of activity, and the pattern seems to be narrowing. First it was objects in an empty room, then toys moving right beside her. Now, if the mum's right, it's moved on to her daughter. Whatever's inside that house, it doesn't appear to be leaving. It seems to have made its choice."
And kids are more susceptible. Susceptible? Man, I can't talk. Susceptible. My gosh. You know what I'm talking about. I'm having a tongue tie. The kids can see things that we can't. Hence the whole imaginary friend. Luckily, my kids never had that. Thank God. But they see somebody that's there that might be talking to them, trying to play with them during the middle of the night. You need to get a priest in there and to bless the house. Frozen? Like the
In
movie?
January 2021, a mum took her daughter to the Capitol
figure.
Theatre to see Frozen, snapping photos all day to capture the memories. Those photos then sat on her phone untouched for 4 years. It wasn't
Why?
until last year, scrolling back through her camera roll, that she spotted something she'd never noticed before. This photo was sent in to us directly by a viewer named Kara, and in amongst the packed theatre crowd, one figure stands out.
This one right here, it looks a little blurry. This guy looks like he's going through it. Ugh.
A woman who appears semi-transparent, as though the crowd is showing through her. And to Kara's eye, she's dressed in attire from a different time entirely. Skeptics would point
She's kind of got like that bow tie from like 80s, 70s.
to motion blur. In a dim theatre, a phone's shutter slows down and anyone moving through the shot can smear into a ghostly, see-through streak. But that doesn't explain the outfit.
I say you could change the shutter speed and make it look like, because I went to school for photography. It was part of my graphic design curriculum, and you can make it look like this, but not a lot of people know how to change their settings on their phone. They just point, click, and try to make it look good and add filters. But nowadays, with like old cameras and so forth, you can change those, and not a lot of people know how to do that. But I think
Kara's
this is
photo
genuine.
sat unnoticed in her camera roll for 4 years, which does make you wonder what might be sitting unnoticed in yours.
Closing time. Time to run away.
Sometimes the internet's strangest mysteries don't come from haunted houses or dark forests. Sometimes they come from a $5 tub of Greek yogurt.
What?
A Reddit user going by the username Lexi opened a fresh tub of yogurt, flipped the lid over and found a question waiting for them on the underside.
Why are you breastfeeding?
Written by hand in white letters on a strip of blue tape, it reads, "Why are you breastfeeding?" Nobody knows who wrote it, nobody knows how it got inside, and nobody has the faintest idea what it's supposed to mean. Whoever stuck that note under the lid had no way of knowing who'd buy the tub, which somehow makes the question even stranger.
I'd never buy
It wasn't written for anyone. It was written for whoever opened it. The post shot to over 3,000 upvotes on Reddit's Strange forum, and the top comments spoke for most of us.
Gross.
They said they'd toss that yogurt immediately because a mystery sticky note and a white blob is a hard no. The uploader agreed on one point. They definitely weren't eating it, but they were absolutely taking it back to the store because it cost $5.
Well, I would just throw it away, but I guarantee they're not going to return it because they're going to think that you did it.
Not long after it went viral, the post was quietly removed by the forum's moderators. The photos are gone. The question is not. Somewhere out there, someone is writing messages inside yogurt lids.
Well, why would it say you're breastfeeding and yogurt? That's weird. Ooh, I like these. I like these a lot.
It's time for the Weird News Roundup, where we run through the strangest stories making headlines around the world this week. First up, police in Moses Lake, Washington have cracked a case with help from a very unlikely source, a Ouija board. On Friday the 3rd of July, someone broke into a car on East Nelson Road, ripping the stereo out of the dashboard and making off with house keys, prescription medication, and a Ouija board. As luck would have it, an officer had chatted with a woman earlier that same day.
They literally stole a Ouija board.
And noticed she was carrying a Ouija board in her bag. He thought nothing of it at the time, but when the theft report came in, he remembered the board, tracked the woman down, and found her still carrying it along with the rest of the stolen items. The 36-year-old tried to run, but was arrested and booked into Grant County Jail on 5 charges.
I'm surprised the Ouija board didn't tell her about it.
Apparently, the spirit world never warned her the police were coming.
See, I told ya. That's like the dumbest thing.
Speaking of things lurking in the night, residents of Zexeu, a small
What is this, Van Helsing?
town in Pernambuco, Brazil, spent weeks convinced a werewolf was stalking their streets. A figure in a snarling mask, wide-brimmed black hat, gloves, and a long black cape kept appearing in the early hours, and the videos spread like wildfire online. Police finally tracked down the culprit on the very same Friday. A 42-year-old local man named Ella.
Oh, he looks like the creeper thing from, what was it, Jeepers Creepers.
Next, one of America's strangest modern treasure mysteries has reached an ending. Sort of. For 8 years, father and son treasure hunters Dennis and Ken Parada have been locked in a legal battle with the FBI over Dents Run, Pennsylvania, where legend says a shipment of Union gold vanished in 1863 on its way to the Philadelphia Mint. The pair led the FBI to the site in 2018 after instruments detected a 7 to 9 ton metallic mass. The Bureau dug, then declared it found nothing, but locals reported hearing machinery running overnight when the dig was supposed to be paused and watching armored trucks roll out in the early morning. This week, the Justice Department settled the Parada's records lawsuit, paying out $26,000 in legal costs. Dennis Parada says the released files only deepened his suspicion of a cover-up, and his next stop is the US Mint itself to find out whether anything arrived there after the dig.
Why would the military come out to get gold?
And finally, from one buried mystery to another. A research team has secured Turkish government
I've heard this where they think that this is the famous Ark location.
permits for the most comprehensive scientific investigation ever conducted at the Durapinar Formation, a boat-shaped mound just 18 miles from Mount Ararat that some believe is the fossilized remains of Noah's Ark. The site measures 515 feet long,
I don't think that's the Ark, because I would say it was bigger.
matching the Ark's dimensions given in the Book of Genesis. The team's radar scans claim to show right-angled voids beneath the surface resembling corridors and chambers, and soil tests found the earth inside the formation holds nearly 3 times more carbon than the ground around it, which they argue is exactly what a giant wooden ship rotting underground would leave behind. Geologists maintain the whole thing is a natural rock formation. The expedition, announced in June and featuring core drilling and an underground drone nicknamed Gopher, is set to begin later this year. One way or another, we should finally get an answer. That's your rapid fire round. Now back to the countdown.
That was interesting.
I'm just in the pool.
Back to the countdown with a quick one and a challenge. See if you can spot what made this swimmer freeze.
Niblets. Please tell me this is pareidolia. I see it.
Right there.
You can zoom in
TikTok
more.
user JustSomeDude154 was having a swim when he glanced over at the bushes beside the pool and noticed something in the greenery.
Do you see it?
Right there.
There, in amongst the leaves, is what looks like a dark face. 2 hollow eyes and an open mouth sitting perfectly still, seemingly watching him swim.
Right there.
The clip
Like
has racked up over 1 million likes, and the comments are split between people who can't unsee the face and people who can't find it at all, which points to the most likely explanation: pareidolia. Our brains are hardwired to find faces in random patterns, and a shadowy tangle of leaves is exactly the kind of place they love to invent one. Almost certainly just light, shadow and foliage, but good luck convincing the bloke in the pool.
Please tell me I'm not just seeing things. You see that too?
Yeah.
Right there.
When one of our viewers was a boy, his grandfather used to show him an old photograph from his school days, and every time he'd tell him the same strange thing. The boy in the background was a friend of his, and that friend had died a year before the photo was taken. This photo was submitted to us directly by a viewer named Thorsten, and it was
So your friend is...
taken in Germany all the way back around 1924. At first glance, it's exactly what it should be, a group of schoolboys posing together by an embankment more than a century ago. But look towards the back of the group, up against the tree line.
So your ghost friend photobombed
There's a boy
you?
standing apart from the others, slightly
And this is like old-fashioned, like 60s, 70s camera, and you're not... No.
above them.
You're not
And when
doing
Thorsten
that.
examined the picture closely, he noticed something his grandfather never pointed out. The boy's legs appear transparent. The ground behind him shows through where his body should be. He doesn't look like he's standing at all. He looks like he's floating. Now Thorsten raised the skeptical case himself. Maybe the boy simply jumped as the shutter clicked. Cameras of that era were slow, and anyone who moved during a long exposure could smear into something ghostly and see-through.
I mean, it's
But
true.
as Thorsten points out, who jumps in a school photo in 1920s Germany? Schools back then were famously strict. Nobody would have dared. And there's one more thing that's
You got the ruler.
hard to get past. The grandfather was there that day. He knew every face in that photograph. He could account for all of them. And according to him, one of those boys had already been in the ground for a year.
So is it a ghost caught on camera? Ooh, ice.
At the bottom of a frozen
Frozen
pool of
pit.
water, something red appears to be breathing.
It's breathing?
This scary
What the
video has been circulating
fudge?
online for years now, and it's never been explained. It was uploaded by a YouTuber called Bruco Syndicate, who documents unusual happenings in his area. He says he was out walking his dog one winter's day, somewhere rural and blanketed in snow, when he came across a dark pool of open water sitting in the ice. And when he leaned over and looked inside, he started filming.
Oh, there's a frog.
What the?
I saw a frog. Surprised that frog's not frozen.
Down at the bottom of the pool, in amongst the mud and sunken branches, there's a patch of deep red, and it's moving.
Can anybody explain this? Please? That's creepy.
Some viewers have suggested a thermal vent pushing warm water up through the lake bed in pulses. Others point to iron-rich groundwater springs, which can stain sediment a rusty red and stir it in slow surges. Both are real phenomena. Neither quite captures how organic this thing looks, the way the rhythm holds steady in and out like lungs. The uploader never identified what it was, and in all the years since, nobody else has either. Whatever was pulsing at the bottom of that frozen pit, it was alive down there in the cold and the dark. Or it was doing a very good impression of it.
That looks creepy. Nope. Surprised it just go. Like a.
If you want to see more scary videos like these, then hit that
Alien.
subscribe button and turn on all channel notifications. That way you'll always know when we drop our creepy video compilations. On the evening of July 8th, 1913, two housewives sat at a Ouija board in the back parlor of a middle-class
Bad Ouija board.
home in St. Louis, Missouri. They'd been at this for the better part of a year, twice a week, while their husbands played cards in the front room. In all that time, the board had produced almost nothing, meaningless strings of letters, the occasional scrap of a word. Pearl Curran, whose house it was, thought the whole thing was silly. She only kept sitting at the board because her friend Emily, who had recently lost her mother, kept asking. Then, that July evening, the planchette took off under their fingers. Pearl's mother scrambled to write the letters down as they came. Many moons ago I lived, again I come, patience worth my name. The spirit claimed she'd been born in Dorsetshire, England in the 1600s. She said she'd crossed the ocean to America and that she'd been killed there by Native Americans. Beyond that, she gave almost nothing away.
What?
When Emily pressed for details, the board spelled out a rebuke. Yesterday is dead. Let thy mind rest as to the past. Within weeks, it became clear the spirit had no interest in Emily at all. Patience Worth spoke through Pearl. And what she had come to do, apparently, was right. What followed is one of the strangest literary careers in American history. Over the next 24 years, Patience Worth dictated roughly 4 million words through Pearl Curran. Thousands of poems, plays, short stories, full-length novels. Before long, Pearl didn't even need the board. She said the words simply arrived in her head, accompanied by visions like watching scenes from a film, and she would speak them aloud while her husband John wrote them down. She could dictate while smoking a cigarette or answering the telephone, then pick up mid-sentence exactly where she'd left off. On some evenings, she worked on a novel, a poem, and a play at the same time, switching between them without missing a beat. Parts of one novel were dictated on a publicity tour across New York, Boston, and Washington, with 260 different people taking turns at the board. Every session resumed precisely where the last one ended. Here's what makes that genuinely hard to explain. Pearl Curran was, by every account including her own, an unremarkable student who dropped out in her first year of high school after a nervous breakdown. She barely read. She owned few books, had never travelled overseas, and had no contact with literary circles of any kind, and yet the work was good. Not good for a parlour trick, genuinely good. The New York Times called Patience Worth's first novel a feat of literary composition. In 1917, a prestigious national anthology listed 5 of her poems among the best published in America that year. The Sorry Tale, a 350,000-word novel set in the time of Christ, was praised by a Washington University history professor as the greatest story of that era, penned since the Gospels. Stranger still was the language itself. Patience wrote in an archaic English thick with thee and thou, and when researchers analysed it, they found her vocabulary drew overwhelmingly on old Anglo-Saxon root words, as though the writer had somehow never absorbed the centuries of English that came after her claimed lifetime. Pearl, when asked, couldn't define many of the outdated words she'd just dictated. The spirit ran the household too. In 1916, Patience instructed the childless Currans to adopt a baby girl and told them what to look for. Red hair, blue eyes, English and Scottish blood. Born into poverty, they found her and they named her Patience Worth Curran. The case attracted serious investigators almost immediately. Pearl travelled to Boston in 1914 to be examined by the psychologist Morton Prince, though she refused to be hypnotised, fearing it would sever her connection to patients. Then came the researcher Walter Franklin Prince, who spent years on the case and in 1927 published a 500-page investigation. His conclusion has been quoted ever since. Either our concept of the subconscious must be radically altered, he wrote, or else some cause operating through, but not originating in, Pearl Curran's mind would have to be acknowledged. Skeptics, then and now, land on the first option. No record of a patient's worth from 17th century Dorsetshire has ever been found, despite extensive searching. Psychologists point out that Pearl admitted she began anticipating the words before the board spelled them, which is precisely what you'd expect if they were coming from her own mind. The modern consensus is that Patience Worth was a dissociated creation of Pearl's own subconscious. One researcher argued Pearl was a gifted child whose creativity was smothered by a domineering mother, and that Patience was the disguise her buried talent wore to finally escape. But calling it subconscious doesn't so much solve the mystery as rename it, because it still leaves a high school dropout improvising acclaimed novels in dead dialects live in front of audiences on demand for 24 years without a single recorded lapse. The family never charged a cent of admission, and Pearl never once claimed the genius as her own, even when doing so would have made her famous in her own right. In November 1937, Patience Worth delivered one final prediction. She told Pearl the end was coming soon. Pearl Curran died of pneumonia in Los Angeles a few weeks later on December the 3rd. The 4 million words they left behind now filled 29 bound volumes in the Missouri Historical Society. Either they're the work of the most disciplined literary hoaxer who ever lived, or the subconscious mind is capable of far more than we understand, or a woman from the 1600s really did find her way back, through a toy, to finish what her short life never let her start. More than a century on, nobody has been able to say which.
Crazy.
Now, if you want to see some more scary videos, then check out those links on screen right now, and I'll see you in the next one.
Does anybody know why he doesn't do the pew anymore? I want to know. Somebody tell me, because I don't know why. But definitely some scary stuff here. Definitely, hopefully, I don't have any dreams. It seems like a lot of the times if I watch it close to being bedtime, I dream scary things. So I tried to do it a little bit earlier today. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to these scary ghost videos. If you liked it, leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. It's free. And then share with your friends, because why not? Sharing is caring. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. God bless. Keep nerding on. We'll see you guys in the next one.